In this video, I'm scouting my way in to a spot that I've previously hunted. It's in a little hardwood draw in between a bunch of pine thickets that surround it all the way. Except on one end, it drops off into a deep ravine. As I'm scouting my way in, I almost walk up on this doe that's coming around the trail that I plan to sit on. So I'm going to let her kind of make her way through and try not to spook her. Get on up in my stand and get in position for the hunt. It's kind of cool though to see her come through there. I'm going ahead and knocking an arrow just in case there's a buck following her. You just never know. I have killed deer on the ground doing this right here. Never say never. You can look there in the left bottom corner, you can see another giant rub on a tree. Once I get set up in my tree stand, it's not long before this little 6-point comes in there and starts marking his little tree. You can see the little tree that's moving right behind that bigger tree that he's rubbing. He's actually a pretty good sized tree that he's rubbing on, so small bucks do rub on decent sized trees. But you can tell by the way he's rubbing on that tree that he ain't shredding it. So there's obviously a bigger buck in here. The indications of the rubs themselves and the sign lets me know there's a bigger buck in this area. The rut's kind of starting to kick off and these deer are starting to get a little bit more active, sniffing and searching, and in hopes they'll find a doe, and love is in the air. This little buck, he hung around quite a bit. He stopped and ate on a few acorns, just sniffing things out and doing it his way. You can see him kind of licking his nose constantly where that doe walked. He's obviously interested in her, but at the same time he knows he's not the big buck in the area, so he'll probably be a little bit cautious. You can see that tail's just slightly tucked as he's sniffing around. He kind of knows he might be in the wrong place. Should that big one show up, he may have to take flight. A little later on, this 3-point comes in. He starts picking up a few acorns here and there, kind of checking things out. He pretty much ends up right under the stand sniffing my ground scent. He's not really sure what it is, but he's going to study it for a while. I forgot to mention that along with all the rubs in this area, there's a pretty good primary scrape just about 50 yards upwind of where I'm sitting at this moment. Lucky for me, there's some gray squirrels running around in the woods, kind of keeping him half distracted. He's eventually going to lose interest in my scent and kind of work his way off. And once he gets a few yards away from the tree, he'll just plumb forget I was there, I guess. It's kind of fun just being this close to deer and them not having a clue that you're standing right above them. Makes things very interesting.
I just shot a nice buck, and again I turned the camcorder on. I know I hit the record button. I thought I was recording. Apparently I did not get it on film. He was chasing the doe. I went ahead and turned the camcorder on when I saw the doe, and then I hit record. I thought I was recording the doe, and then the buck came over the ridge, and I looked at him. I said, "No, he's a shooter." So he come down. I grunted at him, got him to stop. I almost didn't get him to stop. He was after that doe. I made a shot. I think I hit, well, I know I hit far back. I saw exactly where the arrow hit. I'm gonna give him some time because they was two trees, and I didn't want to get too tight to one of the trees that was in the way. So I think I got lung, but I'm in the back. I'm in the back of it. The deer went to the bottom of this hollow, and he stopped, and I've not seen him move from that spot. I'm hoping he laid down right there. I'm looking at him right now. If that's him, I don't know. I did not hear him walk out of there. And we're gonna give him some time anyway.
I'm gonna grunt and see if I can get him to raise his head up, make sure it's him. While trying to figure out whether he's dead or not. This buck comes cruising through there, sniffing, checking, trying to find that doe that just ran through. He's gonna go down there and get my buck up.
Really?
My buck actually got up. I thought he was going to try to fight that other buck. At least now I can see him a lot better. Keep an eye on him.
That's my buck laying on the ground. That other buck went over there and looked at him, but didn't do anything. He's just laying there. Dadgummit. I made a bad shot. He should be dead by now. Been 10 minutes. See, I hit the record button on the one that I didn't want to shoot. That other buck's just running around over there.
After watching this buck lay here for some time, I decided to get down out of my tree stand very, very slowly and see if I could sneak up on this buck and get another arrow in him. As I was doing so, he got up and started to walk away from me, apparently going after the doe. And as he was walking that direction, I noticed that he was hurt really bad, having difficulty walking. So I sat there and thought about it, and I decided to circle around him and try to get in front of him, see if I could cut him off. I sat there on the trail for about an hour, and I never saw this deer anymore. So I figured he either slipped out, something happened, I didn't know for sure, and I backed out. That's when I got Thomas Jackson and his dog Lee to help me out.
He went right to it.
What's he got on? He went right to it. They said me a deer. I guess that other buck had him messed up.
I think it's the same time guy. I'll hold him back too. Good boy, man. Good boy. Good boy.
That's a good dog to have.
Yeah.
He'll get how many track jobs that make for that dog?
That's 10.
10?
That's his fifth fine.
Fifth fine.
He's a year old. That's pretty good.
He'll get better.
He'll get better.
He'll get better.
Come here, Lee.
That's a good. I knew he was a pretty good deer. He didn't get no ground shrinkage anyway.
No. Good buck.
Buddy, I sure appreciate you bringing your dog down here to help me find this deer. Oh, I couldn't take a chance in pushing this deer. I backed off on him. This is exactly the last place I saw him. He laid down right here, and I gave up a little too soon. But it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You push a deer like this right here, they could go a long ways.
Yeah, that's a good
He
buck.
never knew I was sitting right there on that ridge where I told you that he got up out of his bed.
Yeah.
That's where I was.
Shoot.
I said it was 100 yards. Heck, that ain't about 60, is it?
No.
That's about
No,
60
good
yards
buck.
behind him the whole time. And anyway, I tried circling around and getting in front of him. I got up there on that side where I could see real good, and I sat over there on just on the other side of this pump
Yeah.
for 45 minutes waiting for him to walk up.
Huh.
And he never showed up. I thought he got past me is what I thought.
No, he just laid down right
laid
here.
down right here. Good dog.
Good boy, Lee.
I sure appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Good deer.